Hello, everyone. Welcome to Open River Forum. And my name is Bernard Eshibantin. And so today's conversation will be focused on supply chain and coronavirus. In other words, the impact of the coronavirus on global supply chain, worldwide supply chain. That is what this conversation or this discussion is going to be about. And once again, this is Open River Forum. It's a very, very informative forum. We don't write anything. It's not scripted. We just discuss. We just conversate, talk. Whatever comes here, we just talk about it. No script. We just discuss. So that is how it is. So, and I'll make sure I take my time. So my audience, my listeners, will get to understand because there's no point in talking so fast and people will not understand exactly what you mean. And so I just want to take my time and just slow down so everybody break everything down so everybody will understand me, right? So that is what it is. Once again, Open River Forum. And the topic, the conversation today is going to focus centered on global supply chain and the impact of the coronavirus on global supply chain. So if you look at it, it is so amazing how the world is so interconnected. It's so intertwined. So something can happen, an event can happen in the obscure corner somewhere in the world, and it will have impact, whether positive or negative, on the other side of the world. That's how the world is so connected because of what? The introduction of World Wide Web, the internet. It has made borders, international borders, so porous, and transnational travel has also become relatively easy. So one can move easily, fly in an airplane to Dubai for 2 days, 3 days, and come back, or to the United States and come back. So if something to happen, say a disease happen on one side of the world, somebody can spread it easy. So that is how COVID-19 spread around the world so fast. It happened somewhere in Wuhan. I don't know if I'm pronouncing the name right, in China, some city in China. And before we know it, it has spread all over the world and shut the whole world economy, countries to a virtually standstill. That is how it is. So that is how COVID-19, has done. And so the worldwide, we know the worldwide outbreak, the global outbreak of coronavirus, popularly known as COVID-19, indeed has had devastating effect on global supply chain. And so that is why you see academics, scholars, experts are digging, researching, to trying to understand, to trying to come to terms with the true extent of the coronavirus on global supply chain, because it has really done a severe blow to global supply chain. And why am I keep on talking about supply chain? Somebody will say, what do you mean by supply chain? I don't want to engage in any tedious, complex academic definition of supply chain. So simply, let me say supply chain is series. Listen to this. Supply chain is series of steps or processes that come into play in the production and distribution of a product or an item. Let me repeat myself. When we talk about supply chain, simply, I'm not saying we have one simple definition, one exhaustive definition for supply chain, but for the purpose of this conversation, let's define supply chain, or let's explain supply chain. That supply chain is series of steps or processes that come together during the production and distribution of a product or a merchandise. Think about it. So if you, based on this definition, you can tell that supply chain runs the world economy. Because what are the processes of supply chain? What are the steps? One of the steps is order processing, Like you sit in your home, the comfort of your home, and you order an item, and you just sit down, order it online or wherever, and then mind your own business. And before you know, 1 week or a week, 3 weeks time, you get the product. So it goes through other processing, material handling, or the item, how they handle the material, warehousing or storage is one aspect, component of supply chain, inventory control, like you order, say, a bottle of a packet of water or cooking oil, and then it goes to the place wherever you order the item. They have to go through their inventory, their stock, and see, oh, do we have this? Do we have this particular oil this person ordered or not? So those are the control. And then it has to be transported too. So transportation is part of supply chain. Think about it. Packaging, delivery. So all these steps, order processing, material handling, warehousing or storage, inventory control, transportation, packaging, delivery, all are handled by human beings. And guess what? We know that when the coronavirus hit, everything shut down. I can testify. I teach at a college. My school shut down. I know all the colleges, universities in Georgia, Atlanta, Georgia, shut down. We were teaching from home for about a month or 2 months. We were at home. Store, it's just when you go to store, everything, even common toilet tissue or toilet roll tissue, you can't even find that. Alcohol, everything was gone. Nothing in the shelves, in the stores. That is what we're talking about, supply chain. Think about it. And I know wherever you are watching this video from, the same way, because I'm speaking from United States. And guess what? United States, like people said, United States, when United States economy sneezes, the whole world catches cold. I think you understand what I mean. When United States economy, because it's the biggest economy with China, biggest economy in the world. So when United States economy sneezes, the whole world catches cold. So the point I'm making, the coronavirus shut United States economy virtually down. It's a fact. I live here. I know it's a fact. I'm not lying. That's true. So think about it. If the world biggest economy is shut down because of coronavirus, what do you think about countries like in sub-Saharan Africa, say where I was born, in Ghana, in Nigeria, in Togo, in Sierra Leone, in South Africa, wherever other countries? What do you think will happen? That is the severity of the problem. So the world is so connected together that because of the World Wide Web, because of the social media, internet, has come to revolutionize the way how we do things, how we trade, how we do politics, how nations, deal with each other has virtually changed because of the internet. And think about it. So when the coronavirus hit, and hit hard the biggest economy, China, because the virus started from China first, we know that. And so think about it. The two largest economy in the world has been paralyzed by the coronavirus. What do you think about countries like Ghana, country like Togo, country like Nigeria, I think you know where I'm coming from. So that is what, if you look at United States, home sale was just skyrocketed because they don't have the materials to build houses because of what I've just explained about the supply chain. All the processing, material handling, they don't have anybody. And because now, if they're producing, say, a pen or say a watch, you know that the parts that goes into making a watch, a wristwatch, doesn't come from one place. They may have the glass from, say, Japan. They may have the band from, say, Korea. You see? And so all are connected. And they're not having it. So what happened? So that is how impacted the virus had on the world economy. Yes, it's true that today, because they have developed vaccine, that can handle, that can, control, they can control the virus. The virus, the impact, the severity of the virus, has now subsided. But still, because of the ripple effect, the adverse effect it had on the world economy, it will take a little while for economies to come back to their pre-pandemic days. It will take years. Yes, some countries are resilient. They have, they're rich, like countries like United States, even though we're struggling now to get on its feet. Yes, some countries will still be ahead than others, but still, not all countries can just progress or can come to bring the economy to the pre-pandemic days. And so, what I'm trying to say is, if anybody, be a politician, be an aspiring, candidate, be an academic, be a scholar, same thing, be a doctor, medical doctor, or wherever, to sit down and somehow say, claim or argue that he or she thinks, if a country use the coronavirus as an excuse for the slowdown in the economic indicators or slowdown in the economy, is somehow over-dramatization or exaggeration. That tells me anybody with that kind of line of argument probably doesn't even understand the modern world, the contemporary world they live in, because the world is so interconnected today, and that what happened in point A has a very, adverse or either good or bad effect on the other side of the town or the other side of the spectrum. And so that is the world we live in today. And so, yes, I know countries in the sub-Saharan Africa, especially, is still going through economic slowdown. And it's true, United States hasn't even come out from the woods yet, because there's a lot of things. Cars, for example, say car sales has now skyrocketed. And so people, even used cars, its prices are so high because United States, GMC, the largest car manufacturer in United States, GMC and Ford, they don't have the chips, because the chips are semiconductor to build cars, because the world supplier of the chip makers, those who make the chips for cars, are not making them because they don't have the parts. They don't have the manpower to do it. And so economy, it has affected the production of cars. And so now the used cars are more expensive, because if you look at cars today, when you talk about cars, use computers and wherever, it's all, those are the chips, semiconductors. And so from ignition to braking system, all thrives on what? Chips, semiconductors. And United States, is in need of, is short supply of chips, because the chip makers are not making them, because they don't have the parts. They don't have it. The supply chain is so, the inventory is so low that if you order a car parts, it takes months. An order that takes days, now it takes months. Sometimes they will tell you they don't even have it. So it takes, I know somebody who gas tank bust because she ran over some kind of a rock, and so the gas tank bust. What they need, the gas tank, it took her about more than 3-4 months before they can replace that gas tank, because they don't have it. They are not manufacturing it anymore. That is how it is. So if United States, of all countries, is going through economic doldrums because of the effect of the coronavirus, what makes you think, the poor countries or the developing countries can catch up that quick? So that is what it is. So we all have to be realistic and be patient and considerate and understand and be truthful and be fair-minded and know that no matter what, coronavirus has had a very devastating effect on global economy, and it still is, even though we have antivirus vaccine that help to control the spread of the virus, unlike the late 20s, 1920, 2020 and 2021. It's still, the coronavirus is still having negative, adverse impact on global economy. So it has affected all countries. Gasoline, everything is affected, so that is why, because if you don't have gas production, then transportation to transport the items to your doorsteps and wherever will be a problem. So that is what it is. That's what I have for you today about the impact of coronavirus, COVID-19, on global supply chain. That the coronavirus has had a very, very dangerous effect, adverse effect, harmful effect on global supply chain, and it has affected the whole world economy. And it will take a little time for many economies to come back to their pre-pandemic or pre-COVID days. So that's what I have for you. And next week, I will talk about, if you have a visa, legitimate visa, and you want to come, you come in to live in America, what to expect. What do you expect? I'm not talking about you visiting the United States. When you live here, it takes time for you to say, I know America. You can come and live here about 2-3 months. You don't know America. You have to live here at least by 4 to 5 years. That is how you can say you know about America. We will talk about that next week. So have a good day. Once again, my name is Bernard Eshibante in Atlanta, Georgia. This is Sophia River Forum. If you haven't subscribed yet, please don't wait, subscribe, because it's very, very informative, educational, and we talk about everything: geopolitical issues, economic, social, health, everything. And I'll see you another time. Have a great day.